5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live with Neve.
All right. What's happening, people? Let me just pull this out of here. There we go. Much better. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is 10 a.m. here in New York. It is a gorgeous day out. It is crisp. It's excellent. And I'm glad to be here. I'm awake. I'm back from California. There's so much to talk about today. I actually have a bunch of stuff. We have a great guest. We have Carlton Wilkinson on this morning. He is a keyboard songwriting, singer-songwriter, music composer, professor, all-around cool guy, and he'll be on in about 15 minutes. He lives here in my neighborhood. Yes, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and he'll be standing by. And I'm going to go back to California and just talk about that for a minute. I'm also looking quickly here at the Neil's good news of the day. I once again am kind of at a loss. Let's see if there's anything positive here. 75% of Twitter is locked out. The people who work there. Bummer. Buffalo bracing for 4 feet of snow. Now that'll put into the good news category because at least it's in Buffalo and they know how to deal with it. Wow. So I imagine we may get some snow here. I haven't looked at the weather report yet. Don't really care to at this point. But okay. So there's really not a hell of a lot of good news. Bearish bets building the stock market. This is bad news, okay? Qatar is hosting the World Cup. Now, if anybody's ever been to a World Cup game, I have been in Amsterdam while it was going on, and I can tell you it is a party. I just don't think of Qatar as the first stop for drunken, soccer hooligans, and it's kind of a bummer. I mean, you spend a lot of money to go to that. If soccer's your game and you go there, well, so be it. Good morning, Rick. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. So yeah, Qatar's kind of a bummer. You go there, you can't drink. I don't know what you can do there, but it's not a very fun place. And holding a world-class event in a place that doesn't allow anybody to have a beer and the other human rights things they do, it's not exactly my first destination stop. But getting back to one of my first destination stops that I really have enjoyed, Los Angeles last week was superb. I had great food. I had good company. Again, a big thank you, Gina. Thank you for putting up with my presence for a few days, and thank you to Toby as always for just always keeping me hooked up with what's going on out there. And everybody, thanks to Leland Sklar for his, hospitality and everybody else. It was just a really good time. And in that note, I've got a song here, which I think a lot of guys and girls can appreciate. It's called High Maintenance Girlfriend. And it really is a hoot. And I'm playing this for you guys at Facebook. I'm playing this to promote the immediate family. Okay. So when you send me your takedown notice, I'm doing it for promotional purposes. So buzz off and don't bother me. Go out. If you really want to do something, go out and buy some immediate family music. It is it's a superb record. The one I just picked up their first one. I don't know if this song's even on the first album, but their new stuff they played at the show the other night. I have to tell you, they're just one of the tightest bands you'll go see. And obviously with the people who's playing, they should be tight. and they are exceptional. They are playing at the Canyon Club today. I know when Toby and them get on, they can probably clarify which venue. We went up to Santa Rosita or Rosacea or whatever the hell it is. It's kind of out. And I understand this. The show today is the one, if you're out there, you'll want to go. You never know who might show up at it. Special guests and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to play a little bit of the immediate family for you and let you hear some High Maintenance Girlfriend. All right, all right. The immediate family, High Maintenance Girlfriend. High Maintenance Girlfriend. Having some. Sorry about that, folks. Remove that. So must be a Facebook thing. I don't know. Usually this works great. Any rate, so thank you, Carlton, for giving me a quick cue. It's 10:09, people. We're almost to the break. Let's see. We've got some mask mandates coming up. Since I didn't have any good news, I'll give you the basics for today. You can get the rest of it. You can, if you want to hear people argue about their politics, it's all over. Don't do it here, please. It says 60% are living paycheck to paycheck. I believe that. I've seen that even with people who have much higher paychecks than myself. If you think about COVID, a lot of musicians are broke. Um, what can I tell you? It's not good, the economy. Let's see. We've got okay, studies blocking sun to combat climate change. Okay. All right. Well, I'm really looking here. There's not much good news. The good news is out in California. The immediate family is planned tonight. And, that's really a cool thing. Um, well, it's kind of one of those points here where I'm just sitting here going, wow, man, the clock says 10 more minutes, 5 minutes more. The question I have is, why isn't this playing? I wonder why. Its volume is up. All these things that should be happening. I hear it. Rick Davis, are you still out there? Have you been able to? I'm going to run this. Can you guys hear that? If anybody's out there, tell me if you just heard that blast. Carlton, I'm assuming it's the same, right? It's the immediate family. For those of you who are hearing it, I can hear you. All right. Hey, Juliana. I'm glad you can hear it. Excellent. I'm not sure, man. You got a bad feed, Carlton. It's Mojo. Thank you, Julie. Or Julia. You're on Live with Neve with the immediate family. This is last summer, but I just saw him in LA last week. Tremendous, tremendous show. Hey, Sam, I sent you a notice. Maintenance girlfriend now. Play it, Waddy. It's Cooch. All right. We like that. All right. I don't know anybody who's ever had a high maintenance girlfriend, but it can be good while it lasts. All right, let me remove this. So I have a guest coming up in just a few minutes. I have Carlton Wilkinson. He is a keyboardist, composer, singer, songwriter, educator, just an all-around cool dude. And if I looked at him, I can he's got a Waddy Wachtel vibe going on. He's rocking this morning. He's got, he looks like Waddy's brother, or maybe cousin. I don't know. But he's going to be on joining us at 10:15, half past the hour. Nice to see you, Julie. I know, give my regards to Sam. I know we're going to have her on at Christmas, and I'm excited to see her Christmas release. That's really, really very cool. For those of you who don't know, Sam Rourke is kicking ass, and she's winning all kinds of awards. And she's got a great new Christmas product out, which I think is, really cool. And I look forward to having her on the show to sing it. The month of December is going to be kind of special around here. We're going to have holiday music of various types. And so if you're a band and you have some great holiday music, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you have, I'm an equal opportunity offender, so I'd be glad to have anyone. Good morning, Gina. I was just talking about you. There we are. My friend from LA, Gina, good morning. Just thanking you for your great hospitality last week. Gina really is a sweetheart, and I appreciate her kindness while I was out visiting. Really, it was great of her to put me up. And life is good, man. I'm back. I did pick up a wicked cold when I was out there, and you can't tell right now, but I'm on heavy doses of anti-mucus drugs so that I don't become a mucus membrane live before your very eyes. So it is, it's 10:14. So I'm going to be bringing my guest on. Let's see what we've got over here in the branding category. Has anybody ever had a brand like on their arm or something? No? Well, I certainly haven't.
Hi, I'm trumpeter Greg Adams, and I'm live with Neve.
Hi, this is Leland Sklar, and I am hanging with Neve.
Hey everybody, this is Steve from Reach for the Sky, along with Jay from Reach for the Sky. And you're listening live with Neve.
Hey there, it's Kevin Sorbo here, and you lucky people, you are live. You're live with Neve or Neve. I don't know. I can't say the dude's name. Anyway, you're on live with him, so I don't know. I guess that's a pretty good thing.
All right. How's everybody doing? Good morning, Carlton. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
I hear you excellent. I can hear you, even the squeak of your chair.
That's the piano bench. Yeah,
it's a glorious thing. Absolutely. So, everyone, Carlton, how are you this morning? Are you enjoying this great, beautiful weather here, or what?
I am. Isn't it lovely? It was so cold yesterday, and today it's still a little chilly, but it's much better.
Yeah, it was
sunny.
I had a little big cup of hot tea out on the porch, got myself chilled.
Yeah.
And hopefully the sun will come out a little bit. But so let's talk about man, it's great to have you on for one thing.
Thank you. It's great to
I've
you.
read your biography is outstanding.
I love your show, and I've watched it. I've watched many episodes. I can't say I've watched all of them because there's so many of them.
Well, I appreciate that really very much.
It's a great show. It's so much fun.
Well, thank you. I have fun, and most of the guests have fun, and every once in a while, you go back. It's like music when you first start playing. I'm relatively new to doing broadcast on my own.
Yeah.
And so it's not like getting a band together where I know everything I've got to do. With this, I had to kind of juggle the balls and drop a few and make silly, make myself look like an idiot occasionally, but I do it very well. So there's something to be said for that. And I'm glad you enjoy it. For anybody who's new and who happens to stop by, look, it's really simple. The show started during COVID. It was because I was going bored out of my mind like everyone. There was no music to be played. I had to learn how to record at a distance. And I just decided one day I woke up and my girlfriend asked me, she said, well, you got to do something. Like, I needed a band, or I needed a job, or I needed something because I was just going out of my mind. And so I said, well, I'm going to start a radio show. And she goes, what? And then after I said it, I thought, oh boy, I wonder if I'm going to be able to pull this off. So here I am. This is probably somewhere around somewhere between 250 and 300th show, I guess.
Wow. That's amazing.
And if you go back to the early ones, there's some really funny ones that are just funny because it was so bad that I'm amazed anybody stuck around long enough. The humor factor was way higher just from a standpoint of watching me be tormented by various technical things. And here's Toby with her. There we go. Look at there. Toby. We see you as you are too. For everybody, check out Toby's special events calendar. She is the girl from Wilshire Boulevard, and she's got it going on. All I can tell you, thanks, Toby. It was so cool seeing you last week. We did not spend enough time, but it was great having the time I did with her. We've been friends on the show for 3 years. And
nice to meet you.
Same with Gina, and everybody who was out there and made my visit very, very fun. And while we're talking, we're kind of hanging loose. It's freeform radio this morning. I do have to mention something. For people who travel a lot, you probably use Uber and Lyft. I'm going to say something that I use Uber and Lyft a lot, and I hear a lot of people don't like them. And I don't like them at various times either, especially when there's surge pricing and things like that, and it's pouring rain outside the Madison Square Garden and you're trying to get home. It's kind of a creepy thing. But I had my faith in humanity rewarded. Toby, you're the best. I mean, and I will say this to everybody who I was out with, I am definitely I'm looking at the path to maybe relocating out there. We'll see what happens in the next year or two. Ultimately, I'd keep what I got here and find something out there.
Yeah,
we'll see. The town, it beguiles one. There's a lot going on there, and we'll see what happens. I know I could definitely see myself moving out there and adapting while, but yeah. So what I was going to get back to the lift.
I'm jealous, man. That visit with the immediate family sounds like it was a lot of fun.
Oh, it was tremendous. And they also, for those of you who aren't familiar with them, that is the band that you've listened to a million times, whether it's Carly Simon or Barbara Streisand or I mean, there's just so many bands, the Eagles, Don Henley rather. There's so much stuff these guys have played. Jackson Browne, Warren Zevon. I can just go down the list. Phil Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of really tremendous talents out there. And, I love New York, but I love LA too. I'm like Randy Newman. I got to write a song about it. I know. Hey, Gina, tell me, comment please on where that show is. That's the show that everybody I understand wants to go to because everybody lives in the neighborhood. Jackson and all those guys. There'll be possibilities of great star watching for people who do that kind of thing. Please, if you watch anybody, be polite. Don't bother them during dinner. Have your manners. So I can tell you, nothing worse than some gavone coming up when somebody's trying to eat dinner and like pestering them. Wait till they're done. Pester them outside. Be like a paparazzi. Go out there and harass them when they're going to their car. Works for me. Canyon Club, Agora Hills. Canyon Montclair. We've got Toby's got it going on. Between the two of these ladies, we know. And I could have done another week out there. I'd love to go see those guys again. It was that good of a show. They really, the tightness level was just off the chart. I listen and pick things apart all the time, and I couldn't hear a damn bad note the whole night. And it's not like when I was back in the days, I'd be like sipping a bunch of bourbon and shit. Man, I listened clear as a bell, and I couldn't hear not even a little fuck up at all. It was like they really just were so tight and they were having fun and relaxed, which I think, Santa Barbara, that's cool. But I also went, and Toby's reminding me here, the Immediate Family film. We went to the premiere down in Coronado, and it was exceptional. And Danny Tedesco was there. He was a master of ceremonies and did the Q&A, and really an interesting and dynamic guy. He'll be on the show coming up. I spoke with him. And now we're going back. Toby's running TD here. Toby, I need you in my headset, not on the screen, please. Okay? I'm going to get you hooked up backstage. So getting back to you, Carlton, let's just start at the beginning. How long have you been playing? What brought you on the path to where you're at? And
my.
Where is the roots of Carlton?
It's the interesting thing about that question is that the new album is kind of refers back to that because Dana and I were in a band, a serious band when we were 18, 19, a progressive rock band out in Pittsburgh where we were in high school together. And that group was so much fun. All the guys, we had 5 guys in the band, and they were all way into all of the progressive rock that was out there. We listened to Frank Zappa and to Yes and to Genesis, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and all that stuff, and all the jazz fusion that was going on. Just it was a constant kind of sharing of all of that musicianship. And so Dane and I especially worked together pretty closely then. But then, after high school, I remember one conversation right after I got married. He and I had this really long conversation about like, well, where are we going to live? Are we going to live in the same city? What city are we going to live in? Right. And we ended up not. He moved to Boston, and I was all over the country, and wound up in New Jersey.
What brought you
And
to New Jersey? I'm just curious.
I had family out here, and at the time I had been traveling for a couple of years, and I ran out of money. I ran out of a desire to live in warehouses. So
I can't imagine.
So I came out to New Jersey to try to get myself established. My mom was out here. I had other relatives out here, so it was this kind of a safe place to go.
Right.
And from there, I wound up played in some bands in the Trenton area for a while, and that scene, as you and I have talked about before, that scene was degrading. the club scene was falling apart.
It doesn't seem to be rebuilding. It seems to be kind of in a weird state of non-existence at the moment. It really
and I was kind of tired of that anyway. You know, I mean, there was a lot of drinking, a lot of kind of
sure.
And I was getting kind of tired of that. So I finally decided, look, I really should go to school. Otherwise, I'm going to wind up working as a landscape laborer for the rest of my life, and I don't want to.
Right.
So I went back to college and wound up majoring in music at Trenton State College, and that was a pretty wise choice. I wound up going through getting a PhD from Rutgers in music composition, and I've taught in universities, but I also developed, while I was at college, I developed some writing connections, professional writing connections. So I wound up supporting myself as an writer and an editor for many years, and I'm still doing that. I have a job in New York as an editor. I started. I spent a couple of years writing obituaries for the Trenton Times, which was a great job.
That sounds like a really kind of a fun job. At
it
times.
Was.
You could have if you had a certain
ghoulish.
Warren Zevon kind of sensibilities to it. It could be kind of interesting.
There was something really kind of sacred about watching this constant flow of people over the edge into the other world. It was
that I have to say, well, I've had some unusual jobs being a musician in my career, or long career as a musician. I did work as a grave digger briefly, and I say briefly, I lasted about a month or two.
I always wondered what that would be like.
It was, what? It's kind of interesting because I did too, and I just needed a job. I had a couple of kids, and it was like, food's got to be on the table on Friday.
Right.
And I took it. Right. I don't know how long exactly. If memory serves me, I lasted about 3 or 4 months. But the guys I worked with were just a trip. And I'll just relay one quick story. We had a funeral once where it was on a Friday. And back then it wasn't the cashless society. You had to go get your check, have to go to the store or the bar or wherever you go to cash your check or deposit it. And I just... I had enough of it, but that day we were supposed to leave at 3, and on Friday traditionally we'd leave at 3, but there was a funeral at 4. So the funeral's going on, and these guys I work with have been there a long time. To say that they're cynical is just it's an understatement. These guys were like sitting there on the truck, standing up, looking over. We have the lid for the coffin. I mean the crypt. We've got shovels. We got this whole trailer laid out. And they're parked behind the hedges so that nobody can see us. But these guys kept going, what in the hell are they waiting on? What are they doing? I got to cash my check. I can kid you not. So I said to him, I go, guys, man, they're up there grieving for their family and shit. You got to chill out. What the fuck? At any rate, to make a long story short, we eventually got up there. They're like, they literally chased these people off. It was terrible. And we get it done, and I'm riding home thinking about, God, I got to find a better job. This is not happening, But it was funny because the next Monday I go in, and one of those 2 guys got fired for his behavior. And so I kind of moved up to chief idiot from just only a minor idiot grade in this film that they were making. But it was cool because they actually moved me into the house. I was not a field servant anymore. I was a house servant. And that meant I would empty the trash, go over to the owner's house, mow the lawns. But I was, I moved up and I didn't have to sit out in the sun all day. I could go over and clean windows. And who knows? I might have had a career in the funerary business. But hey, Deb, we got Australia chiming in, but enough about me. Let's get back to you. You've went through this career. You're in Trenton, which I guess that's kind of a musical. At the time, there was rock and roll going on.
There was a lot of rock and roll going on. Yeah, it was really interesting. But but I sort of moved through that pretty quickly, and then went back to college. And at college, it was really great. While I was the first couple of years I was an undergraduate, I worked on a music project where I was recording a bunch of my original songs with a handful of guys. Make a Map of France, we called that project, and I'm still really pleased with what we did, but it has that real 80s vibe, gated drums. Yeah,
I can tell the first time I ever bought a reverb that would allow you to gate drums. There was gated drums on everything over 4 years.
So but I really didn't know what I was doing as far as arranging and asking the musicians what to do, what I wanted them to do. I didn't have any real experience in that, so I was pleased with the product, but also disappointed and felt like it just wasn't really representing me. So I kind of walked away from that, and I went back to a really kind of fundamental style where it was just me and acoustic guitar and the best songs that I could write with just that style. And that was really rewarding. I ended up really developing, I think at that moment, which is we're talking now the mid 80s, 86, 87, 88, 89. Developing a style that was really personal and that felt like me, and that eventually developed into I in the meantime I raised a family, had a career, did a bunch of other things, and then so in I released a couple of albums, 3 Rooms.
Okay, 3 Rooms. Oh, there you go.
Which is some more experimental songs, an album of solo piano music called Certain Dark Things. But so somewhere around 2018, Dane and I had been in contact all this time, but just, as friends, just what are you working on, keeping in touch. And we never. Now,
does he have a career in music as well as a professional?
He's more so than I did. He had a couple of really big projects that he produced, and he's played in any number of bands around Boston, especially.
Oh, okay, great music scene.
He led a couple of bands. Plank was a big band in Boston. He had one project with Scotty Verco called the Invisible Movie Soundtrack, which was just an amazing collection of songs. If you ever hear some beautiful musicianship on that album, all kinds of some of the best musicians who were in Boston at the time.
Wow.
And a bunch of other projects that he's worked on over the years. And so anyway, in 2018, he and I were talking, and I said, I've got a couple of new songs. I'd love to play them for you. And played him, just kind of casually played him for him. And he was like, oh yeah, those are really great. So we started just like, every time I was on a kind of a roll where I was writing a bunch of new material, and I would share it with him. And within a few months, we were talking about making an album together.
Excellent.
So that's developed into Inside Voices. And I tell you, man, it's been such a ride with Dane. We were working really intensely together, and he had a lot of, as a producer, he had a lot of input in how the thing was going to sound. As a writer, I was trying to make it as diverse as possible. Every song kind of a different style.
Right.
And as a producer, he's like loving that, but also
trying to make it some continuity threads,
give it some consistency, and I think the end result is just phenomenal.
Well, I've been enjoying hearing the little things that you've posted and so forth. And you feel like you'd like to play a little music this morning?
I'd love to. I'd love for your viewers to actually hear one of the tracks from the album, if we could do that. Can we?
Yeah. Did you have one queued up? You mentioned.
Let me see. I don't think I do, but let me see if I can do that quickly.
For everybody watching, we have Carlton Wilkinson here, and he's a composer, singer, songwriter, and all-around cool dude. And I'm going to enter him in the Waddy Wachtel lookalike contest just because he's got the hair for it. What can I tell you? I'm going to have Waddy and Waddy. It's the Waddy and Waddy show. You're taking it on the road, man.
So let's see what happens if I do this. Can you hear that?
Not yet.
No. All right. Well, that's not going to work then. Can
All right.
Can you cue it up on your end?
Possibly. Tell you what, I'm going to take a break in a few minutes, and I'll cue it up.
Okay.
While we take the break. Do you want to do a little playing while we
Sure.
do that? All right. Carlton Moxley, live with Neve.
Half of my life without you. Half of those dreams blown through. Half of all sacrament. All innocence. Swept aside by the rain broom. Half these junk implements. All my innocence lost in you. Father rain, see you come. Claim my eyes, come stand behind my face, smear your tears in a glass, shattered. Half of my mind denies you. Half of my name I don't use. If I could cut away, take myself apart, this piece me, that piece you. If I could cut away all your broken heart, Father rain, see you come, claim my eyes, come stand behind my face, smear your tears in a glass, shattered. I lost my mind over you. I left those shoes I outgrew. Half of me leans to you, even leaving you. My bare feet across the lawn, leaves of diaries, leaves of the old trees, leaves of the old trees. Father rain, see you come, claim my eyes, come stand behind my face, smear your tears in a glass, shattered. Down on hands and knees like yours, hearts like yours break mine. Father Rain.
There we go. That's better. Yeah, man. It sounded very good. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Well, I also, while we were doing that, hold on. We got some comments there. Let's see. Toby is enjoying. What a great way to start my day, Toby writes. Toby, you are a sweetheart, and he is great. I tell you what. I did have some time to pull up a couple of other tracks that you've done.
Oh, great.
And I'm going to play one from one of your records. I've heard this one, and I kind of think it's cool.
Sure.
This is Freely Legatissimo.
Oh.
I think it's badass. I really do. Do you want to tell us a little bit about this?
Well, that's from the whole tone studies, which is a group of pieces using that whole tone scale. The idea for it was to try to, as a kind of a compositional guide for my students, to try to show them how you could, if you didn't have chords, you didn't have keys, you didn't have key changes and modulations and chord progressions, what can you do with all the other musical elements, the rhythm and the form and and whatever. So with the whole tone scale, one of the weird functions of the whole tone scale is that there's only two of them. You can only modulate once.
Oh, okay.
There's no other key. There's just two whole tone scales.
Right.
So it limits you, and within those limits, you end up finding freedom in other ways, through the rhythm, through phrasing, all kinds of other ways. So anyway, that's the purpose of the whole tone studies. There's 9 of them. They're real short, and this is one of them.
Well, here we go, people. Here we give it a listen. Live with Neve.
Neve, I can't hear that. Why can't I hear that? Yeah, could you hear
go ahead.
that? I couldn't hear that.
You can't hear that.
No.
It's weird. I don't know why you're not getting the feed, because other folks are hearing it and I can hear it. You have the output of your computers going into an input on your mixer, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hearing you fine.
I know it's really odd, because I can hear the music in my headset, and when I check, I'm wondering if on your end, if it's pre or post.
No idea.
We've got the audience chiming in. Hey there, Gina, maybe. You can't hear it. Is that correct? You could not hear that music, Gina?
Wow. Gina couldn't hear it either.
Shit, what the hell is going on with this thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me look at the video elements here. Pretty weird. I don't know what to tell you, people, so we won't be doing that. Unplug your phones.
Well, let me play you another one of the whole tone studies.
Alrighty, great. Yeah, we've got it live, man. We're going for the gold.
Live. The one disappointing thing is that with Inside Voices, the new album, there's all these overdubbed voices on every track. It's 4 or 5 part harmony on every track, and so I can't do that live.
Sure.
Anyway, this is another one of the whole tone studies, a clockwork.
Very nice. Very nice. So, do
that
you
gets
ever?
to the heart of the problem, of what you can do with a really, really limited pitch set.
Of course, and it's really cool because I think just thinking in terms, sometimes getting limitations imposed, it's a great learning tool because it's. Have you ever seen Brian Eno's deck of cards that's used for when?
Yes, I have a set someplace.
I would think, just in this vein, it's kind of like, does it need holes, or any of the questions that they ask
Right,
in
exactly.
that. The oblique strategies is
Oblique
what it's
strategies,
called.
right.
I have carltonjwilkinson.com / is that your correct? There we go.
CarltonJWilkinson.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay. Thank you very much, Toby. Yeah. Toby's on the ball. So
the Bandcamp site is I think it's Carlton Wilkinson at carltonwilkinson.bandcamp.com. I think.
Okay. Yeah, Toby, that is the right one.
Yeah, carltonwilkinson.bandcamp.com, and you can find 3 rooms but 3 rooms and Certain Dark Things both are on all streaming services.
Right.
Inside Voices will be available on all streaming services really soon,
which is going to be cool because that's the one I've heard that is really excellent.
Yeah.
Well
it's a shame
done.
We can't. It's a shame we can't play it here today.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of bummed. But you know what? We're going to have you back on. I can see you're a regular now. You're in the neighborhood. And,
that's wonderful. I like being a regular.
I really, I think you're great. How about, do you have people just throw you, do you do gigs where you just you do requests and you just play? Do any of that stuff?
I don't. I think if I were good at that, I would probably have just been a professional musician and not tried to do editorial work.
Right.
But no, when it comes to the whole sort of lounge piano thing, I can't.
You can. That's not your thing. Well, I mean, it's obviously. We have a great buddy of mine out in LA. I'm having a brain fart.
I have done session work, which is I love to do, but trying to pick up at a gig and just do shit on the fly.
I get it. I mean, it's we all have our vocabulary, and I mean, you're a great player. You with a couple of rehearsals, you'd be smoking along.
Yeah,
I know. But
that's the way it usually works.
How about what is your favorite classical music that you like to listen to now that you've been in music as a professor all these years? Do you have things that still really get you excited?
It's so much. There's so much repertoire. One of the things that I do, as you and I have talked about this, but I play Bach almost every day. Right. I play in fact, behind me
is the harpsichord.
The harpsichord. Can you see the harpsichord?
We can. If you'd like to play a little bit.
Sitting on the harpsichord is the well-tempered clavier. There.
Would you care to play that for us?
I'll play you a little bit.
Okay. Now this is great, people. You're gonna love this. This thing is awesome. The sound of it.
You know this?
Yeah.
You know that prelude? It's like an elementary prelude, the intermediate level. Can you hear it?
Uh-huh. man.
Isn't that lovely?
That is just so great, man.
Such a simple composition, and it's just so freaking beautiful.
Yes, and I can tell you, our fans are loving this. It's really special. Tell us a little bit about your harpsichord.
The harpsichord. So, for those of you that don't know the instrument, the piano has hammers, which I think everybody knows, that strike the strings, and because of that, you get this ability to go loud and soft within a, which is how the piano got its name. It was called a forte piano, loud, soft, forte, strong, soft. And the harpsichord plucks the strings the way a harpist would. So instead of hammers, it has little plectra that pluck each string, and there's only one string per key. Where on the piano you've got three to give it more of a
more complex overtones.
Yeah, more consistency and more strength.
I see.
Strength to the tone. Where the harpsichord, you only have one. It's like a guitar in that sense, like a harp. But you can do things with it, like you can couple the two keyboards to get a slightly different.
Wow,
piano.
that is incredible.
You can add a third rank. So you get different timbres out of the little, being able to couple the different ranks of strings.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've heard lots of people try and sample one. That just sounds so great. It's just so hard to sample and make it sound like that.
This was I mean, it's not free anymore. I ended up spending a lot of money to have this rebuilt. But when I got it, it was free. Somebody just called me up and said, "Hey, we've got a harpsichord in this church. We're getting rid of it. Do you want it?" I'm like, "What?"
Yes,
of course I want it.
I think I mentioned how I have the decision, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I just said that's proven to be a pretty expensive decision because I ended up spending a lot of money to have it rebuilt.
It's funny you say that. I was going to say there's no such thing as a free piano because I've got one upstairs, a free one.
Oh, there's that.
That I had to move the doorway, and it was incredible to get a grand piano up on the third floor of this place. It was just like, I mean, a bear. And it was also a free one, but it ended up costing a little bit more. Anyway, so would you like to play some more? We have about 5 minutes left, and since
let me play Restless Shade on the guitar.
Okay, great. That sounds excellent. Everybody, we are hearing. We've got Carlton Wilkinson live. I'm live with Neve, and we have about 5 more minutes, and he's gonna play some guitar.
Father Rain, the song I played earlier was. Let me just switch these. I got to get the chord on this side. Father Rain is one of the songs from the new album, the song I played before. Okay. And this is another one. This is the oldest of the songs on the album. That period I was telling you about, where in the 1980s, when I was late 80s, when I was really coming to terms with my songwriting style in a real fundamental way. This is a song from that period. And I played it for Dane after we had everything else recorded. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking, the next album, I'm gonna record some of these older songs, and this is one of them. And he's like, "Oh no, we're doing that on this album. We're gonna do that on this album." I'm like, "Oh god, here we go."
Well, I can't wait. So here we are, everybody.
I had written it the way you're going to hear it as a solo guitar thing, but he envisioned it as a 4-part harmony. So that's the way you hear it on the album, and it's just gorgeous that way. There's some changes headed, like the Gulf Stream rising, like some gale that's been blowing off this wild bird island shore. And I can't say where, and I don't know when, but some door's been opened in the restless shade. When there's change you've got coming, and your hand feels empty, Like a night's thunder won't rain, and your heart's hard and heavy, like a soul's chains been severed, and the God it flows full of nothing. And I can't say where, and I don't know how, but I feel it coming this very hour. And I can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been open and the rest is shut. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. There's some change that's coming, like some Hollywood starlet on that walk of fame nobody's ever seen before. There's a full moon rising down my avenue, knock, knock, knocking on my door. And I can't say where, and I don't know how, but I feel it coming this very hour. And I can't say where, and I don't know when, but some old door's been open and the rest is shut.
Oh man, that is nice.
Thank you.
Excellent job. Excellent job. Well, so everybody, we've had a great time. We had Carlton Wilkinson on, and we will be bringing him back again. Really a great, talented singer-songwriter and just all-around cool guy. I'm glad we're neighbors, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to getting together for coffee again.
Absolutely, and all kinds of rhythmic possibilities come to mind.
Yes,
I was just jamming along with it. You know, I can't help myself. So, all right, everybody, we've got today at 4. I have the lovely and talented Bunny Barnes. You all know who she is. She is a fingerstyle killer guitar player. You'll like this, Carlton, if you get a chance. Tune in. She's a devotee of Tommy Emmanuel. And the lady went from not really playing, she played drums, but she ended up telling Tommy that she was about to give up guitar. And he sent her a note back and said, you know, you really ought to try and don't give it up. You know, you're working hard. And her work ethic's extraordinary. She just won an award for the best fingerstyle guitar picking award over in Philadelphia, the same one he won in 2018.
So when you say fingerstyle, what do you mean? You mean
she plays no pick.
Oh, she's just no pick. Okay.
Yeah, and she does her own arrangements of a lot of classical tunes, and she's got it. Her work ethic's incredible.
Yeah.
And just because of that, I give her a great kudos, because a lot of people, they get to our age and they don't want to try new things, and I believe music is
not want to try new things.
I mean, I know. I'm kind of a maniac. New things. I'm drawn to shiny objects and new devices and
new things. That's what gets me up in the morning, man.
Exactly. So Gina, you have a great day, and everybody, you're on Live with Neve, and we're out of here, and I will see you soon.
Hello there. My name is Andreas Hellqvist. This is Daniel Olsson, and we're live with Neve and having a great